Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a best of 5 between the rank 9 and the rank 6 in the current world rankings. We've actually had a pretty dynamic top 10, especially the lower end of the top 10 list. I think has changed quite a bit over the past few months. Solar in the rank 6 position, second best Zerg. Beyond in rank 9 right now is the third best Terran. Other notable names in there. Showtime, I think, for the first time, maybe even in his life, making the top 10. And putting him there, I think, is the fourth best Protoss. So 10 Showtime, 9 Beyond, 8 Rainer, 7 Classic, 6 Solar, 5 maybe mech specs, 4 Hero? No, I don't know. I don't know what happens in the top 5. I know Serral is 1, Clem is 2, Maru 3 probably, so then 4 has to be Hero, and then mech specs 5. Sounds about right. So yeah, high level game here for sure, and what's more interesting... this question mark, it looks like a question mark, but hidden behind this question mark there is a nice micro. There is a nice micro in there. No, well done, buddy. I hope you're proud of yourself. Is this all that Terran can do? Okay, it replaces that. Absolutely. Okay, these two Reapers are gonna go back home. Behind this, I think this is gonna go into a Banshee build. Have we spotted that yet, though? So quick look. Okay, we've seen the factory. And now this OV is going to come back in. That is pretty frustrating, because this is going to give a lot away. You pretty much know immediately the timing that you'll need spores. And if Solar had managed to actually hide this Overlord as well, it would have been even better, because then, you know, the Marines can't catch it. I don't actually think Marines are going to go outside to kill the OV, because it's pretty risky. Like, you don't know what the follow-up is going to be. Is there going to be the Ling Bane? Is it a Roach all in as a follow-up? Like, there's many different possibilities. This Beyond quickly rushes into 4 gas here, by the way. This is almost suspicious, I would say. Almost suspicious. These are gases before E-base, which might not be that weird. Okay, I think he's playing mech. Because this is the stim fake. And we're not seeing extra... Well, you wouldn't necessarily see an extra barrack. You could see a third barrack. But I'd expect E-base right now in a bio game. But I think it's going to be mech. This is a bio into... Yeah, okay, there we go. Armory. Oh, it's a Hellbat all-in. Oh, this is really a double armory. Okay. It's not a Hellbat all-in. It's going to be mech with some added... Maybe there's going to be Hellbats, but I don't think so. I hope he starts it again. Did he finish that accidentally? No. He cancelled it. I hope he restarts, like a stim or a combat shield or just anything. Like, he has so much gas in the bank right now. 500 gas. This does not seem like a well planned out build, if I'm being honest. Like, there's too much gas, too little minerals. It feels like he got scouted and then decided, you know what, I'm gonna change things up here. There will be some changes made today. There will be some changes made. As he's getting all these extra buildings. Look at the gas he's still floating. You could say he needs to invest it into upgrades, but that's 200, 200. Then the first set of units here is like, what, another 200, 200? But still a long way away. Could have Banshees coming in right now, but it's also not really the case. You have a lot of links in production for Solar, who's preparing for the first 2-on-1 drop, by the way. In case you're wondering, like, hey, why is he building all those units? That's why. I hope the Hellions are going to show up. We don't have Combat Shield being researched behind this. This is almost suspicious, but not suspicious enough. It's not suspicious enough, apparently, for Solar, because otherwise he would start with the range or with the attack upgrades, not with the carapace upgrades. So double Banshee is gonna go in right now. There is no spore in one location, at least. I bet it's gonna be the main base. Yeah, main often gets delayed a little bit here with the spores. 3 workers do end up going down. 4 workers end up going down. Main base spore is gonna finish up in about half a second. There we go. Pian's gonna feel sad about not going there a bit earlier. Hydra's now coming out. This is a really awkward early game. A really awkward early game, because look how many units are being built. Solar is still waiting for the first push to come. He might actually believe he's fighting against a tank push right now. Like a marine tank push, and that's why he's building 11 Hydras as well. He's not done yet. He's like, okay, these links by themselves might just not be good enough. I have a couple of queens, but I believe I'm going to need more. So we have mech field accelerators now coming out. 35 out of 100. We have... I mean, we have a lot of stuff coming out here, if I'm being real honest. We have a lot of dudes that are being constructed. Now we're going to get our first scout. Carapace probably still will finish. I'm expecting a second Evo chamber and a full round of drones. But the worker counts are very close, which is not what you want as the Zerg player. Big supply block though for Beyond, who is struggling a little bit. 10 Hellions. I think, honestly, Solar is a little bit lost as to what the hell is happening and what he should be doing. I don't think he has an idea as to what the plan should be for him. Like, he's not getting Baneling speed right now. Is this just going to be Ling Hydra bust? It is a possibility, something that we've seen before, but it's not something that I think is very good. Okay, we're going to go for a catch here onto those Banshees. Beyond, however, is paying attention. He's just going to run by with the Hellion Banshee, potentially. Banshees with the fast speed. Ooh. Gonna fly into a bunch of queens, and with an overseer nearby, it's going to be the end of this. There's no tanks behind this, so it's going to be purely reliant on Cyclone Hellion. Now the Cyclone count is currently at 5. There are 26 Hydras with speed. So this feels like Solar initially was just responding to wanting to deal with a 2-on-1 drop, and now he's turning this into an all-in. Good lift there on both of those barracks. Link's not really connecting yet. A couple of SCVs being pulled off the line. 4CC is going to get cancelled here as well. So the Banshees are dead, I think. They all died. At the same time, the Cyclones are not having a great time either. 15, 16, 17, 18 SCVs going down. Cyclones continue kiting backwards though. Good individual control on those at least. 3 more show up. And that's going to be the end of the Hydras. We have an infestation pit coming in behind all of this. Please do note that there's no CC. No 4th CC, not in the main base, not near the 3rd. That is potentially an issue. Another potential issue for Solar here is going to be that he doesn't have any catch for those Cyclones. Absolutely adore this Ling run by the way. I wonder what the Banshees actually achieved. I think they just flew into like Queens and a Spore or something, but did not look very good. There's nothing really to defend over here. Hellion's now coming out, but it's going to cost them a couple more workers here as well. So the fort base is being built in position. Solar seemingly is just planning on going for a second attack. Doesn't seem like he's planning on going into the future. I thought we might see an infestation pit with... I think we saw an infestation pit, no? Okay, he cancelled it. I thought we were going to see some infestors, because against like medium Cyclone numbers, like 8, 9, 10, 11, I think Cyclones... I mean, infestors are always great, but especially in those cases, I feel like the impact that a single fungal can have, like if you can catch 3, 4 Cyclones here, that's 40% of the Cyclone count. That is a huge deal. And stuff just isn't going to die so fast on your side. Well, if there's like 30 Cyclones, like even if you kill 4, you're still maybe losing like 30 Lings or like 15 Lings, 8 Banelings and 3 Hydras. It's not necessarily as good a trade. So it's just one of these things where I feel like early on, Infestors can be so impactful against Cyclone. We're going to get a 3 Hellion split off. 4 CC is about to finish up. We have a tank. We have more tanks coming in as well. And 2-2 is about to finish up. The moment 2-2 finishes up, that's going to be a serious difference. A very serious difference in how these fights are going to go. Oop. Hydra's going to move in further forward. Cyclone's coming in from the side. Might actually save this command center for now. At least temporarily. There's a couple of Hydras still splitting off, trying to chase that thing. Barracks goes down. CC moves towards the far right. I think Solar should be okay just killing that base, but he wants it all. He wants to get the W here right now. As tanks are trying to siege up. Vehicle weapons +2 finishes up right now. Plating +2 finishes up as well. There's no more tanks remaining though, as the Cyclones on the top side are doing a good job. The Cyclones in the main force are staying alive-ish, but I just don't think their numbers are big enough as a bunch of Lynx comes in. GG is going to get called here, and Solar with the follow-up all-in actually wins this game. A very awkward engagement in which the Zerg does end up getting the W. Our second map will be on Tourmaline. Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise there for me, honestly. Because it felt like Beyond held the first push well enough that the moment he stabilizes a little bit, he's going to be in a good spot. But those 6 Cyclones actually being outside of the battle and not capable of protecting the tanks was really bad. Sometimes it's really nice to have your Cyclones split up, because they can fight in small portions. They can kind of track an army to, or not track an army, they can kind of like bait an army into chasing like an unimportant portion of the Cyclones, which is what we saw happen at least a little bit and kept his fort base alive as a result. But then on top of that, if you do have tanks, you want more protection for your tanks. You want the cost to killing tanks to be much higher rather than lower. So yeah, what ended up happening there is I feel like the tanks were a bit too exposed. You only had like 5 Cyclones, 3-4 Hellions with it. You have 12 Cyclones there. All of a sudden these tanks might get like 3-4 extra shots in, or if you still get that big of a commitment onto those tanks, the Cyclones might get some extra units before the tanks end up falling. So these things can actually make a huge difference, and I felt like the supplies were good enough. If you can stall like 4 more seconds and 2 finishes up before the fight start, that's also of course going to be very impactful. But for now, just gonna have a triple CC coming out of Beyond as a bit of a switch up here from the previous game where we saw the double Barracks Reaper into the Banshee, into the triple CC. So we're gonna have significantly better eco here coming out of the Terran player. And I also have a feeling that we're not going to be seeing any more mech out of Beyond. Beyond's the type of guy that if something fails, he doesn't really want to make the same mistake twice. Even if it's not really a mistake and it's just a build order that went wrong. He often does not enjoy going for the same thing twice in a row. This Reaper is running away. We're having a good old time right now. This thing's gonna move down. Floop. Liberator, 2 Hellions. Gonna go to 4 Hellions total, and already a tech lab on here as well. Going to a Viking. Now this still could theoretically go into like Viking single Banshee. It is something that I've seen him do. I'm just personally not a huge fan of it. I wouldn't mind Viking Liberator or Viking period. Like just a single Viking has value by itself. It clears Overlords. It allows Hellions to move more freely because you're clearing Overlords and forcing them back. Makes it much harder to track the Hellion movement. I actually think that at lower levels, especially, where Zergs are a bit slower with their Queen movement, I think a Viking is like the best airport or starport unit you can get. Like by far as well. Because it makes it so hard to track that Hellion movement. The one major downside, of course, that Vikings do have is that it's not safe against Roach all-ins. So that's really what the Banshee tends to be for as well. Like if you have a Banshee and someone's Roach all-inning you, they can't attack your air units. And that's very frustrating for them, obviously. Hellions are gonna come in. Overlord's not in a position to really check it. Link count extremely low. Well, not extremely low, just regular low. Kind of what you want as a Zerg, right? The minimum amount of units. While still hopefully being safe against everything. Ends up losing 5 drones. What's even worse that he's building more and more links here. And look at the moment when these links will pop, okay? This is a classic mistake that all Zerg players make at all levels. Look at this. They pop as there's only 2 Hellions really remaining. So they're practically useless. Oh my god. Yeah, GG. Alright. And the way that the defense against Hellion works is that you either have enough units and they're in the right positions, or you don't. Like, if you start building links, I think a link takes, what, 17 seconds to finish? If Hellions are unchecked in your base for 17 seconds, like, if you don't manage to clear them within that time, you've probably lost the game anyway. That's why often we see Zerg players that even when they're being ran by, they'll still continue building drones because the links just come out too late. Of course, if you have absolutely 0 links and no queens, like you're going to need some units. And there's some like niche scenarios in which it's the correct thing to do. A lot of the time, like all that there's going to be left is like a Hellion and a half running around while 7 queens are already chasing it. Like, getting 18, 20, 25, 26 more links is just not going to help as much as 12 more drones would. So we even saw Solar kind of falling for that trap there. Now then, of course, not losing the 26 drones, like, the game is pretty much over. It was a very simple build. And like really very simple. Just Viking into denying scouting, into not showing your Hellions for a long time. And then he goes in with the Hellions and boom, just like that. You're just in a world of trouble as the Zerg player. It can happen. It's not common anymore these days that we see these Hellion run by dealing this much damage, but it does happen. Look at that. Solar immediately switches into something else. Like, hey, you did something funny here. You did something funny. Let's see how you'll deal with my Roach all-in. It's going to be 3 gas Roach all-in. Beyond opened up with a CC first. And is now going to go into... Oh, this is extraordinarily... I was going to say greedy, but it's not greedy. I think this is going to go into a 2-base all-in, actually. I'm expecting a tech lab here, yeah. Tech lab into Liberator is going to be a 7 Marine, 3 Hellion. Is that what we have here? Yeah. Almost a TVP build. Except with a command center first. It's a big supply block, by the way. That means that 9 Roach Rush that was coming is not going to be capable of being executed that fast because the Overlord died. It's just going to be, yeah, it's going to be 8 Roaches. A couple of Lings coming out here as well. We have the Ling speed. I mean, this feels not just like a pressure build, right? We're working off of 3 gas. That means mineral eco is pretty low. These guys are already across the map. Tank is coming out. I think Solar's actually in a world of trouble. Nothing has happened yet, but just build order-wise, like this feels bad for him. The Lings are doing a good job at stopping the Marines, and the Lings can move across the map eventually. I think the main problem that I have, though... Okay, if this Liberator goes across, that would be a big deal. The tank is the problem I have, is what I was gonna say. And we're going into 5 racks, so it's gonna be a full-time 2-base all-in. See where this thing sieges up. If it's too far forward, it dies. Don't forget that. If it's too far forward and it sieges up, it dies. It's gonna siege up a little bit further in the back. Roaches now show up. Liberator will need to go back home as well. Hellion's returning here too. Okay, Depot's in a bit of trouble. Like, losing this depot wall usually would be considered bad. But in this case, I think it is completely fine. Like, there's so many units coming in behind this. Hellions are going to be useful against the Ling floods, by the way. So you really want to keep them alive. Like, this is not a case of, hey, let's just lose our Hellions here for free. Like, this is not just a Roach attack. And I think Beyond realized he's pulling a lot of these SCVs as well. I think he's seen some of these Lings here on the bottom side. Let's see what's going to happen right now. Okay, tank fire is okay. We're going to get the Biles onto the Liberator instead. The tank continues shooting. Tank sieges up in the back here as well. Marine count is good enough. I think this is looking... Oh, yeah. Okay for Beyond. He kept a good Marine count. This is pure Ravager. Stim is almost... At the moment Stim finishes up, this is over, right? Like, not the game, but the push. And we're getting 20 more Lings. We're getting +1 that's finishing up. I mean, this was just so unfortunate for Solar because the production capabilities for Beyond have been amazing for a while now with those fast extra 4 barracks. But especially those first 2. Like, they just added so much here defensively. Now 4 and 5 are done. You can turn those into reactors. 2 more medevacs coming out as well. We have a new wall kind of being created here. And this first drop is going to hit like a truck. Because it's going to be... Well, it's not like a truck, but... Still, it's going to be 8 Marines with +1 and Stim. Lings will not be capable of dealing with that. I don't think Queens are going to be capable of dealing with that either. Like, the +1 makes a huge difference. You just need everything to be pretty much in one position and then... Yeah, just hope that the Marines don't trade too well. That's pretty much going to be your plan. I love the spot that Beyond finds himself in because Banelings are really far away. Hive is not, like, even remotely on the menu. Upgrades are late for the Zerg as well, and here we go. Yeah, he gets, like, a couple of Lings. Doesn't lose a whole lot. This was a defense about as good as you're gonna get. Combat shield's now on the way as well. We're gonna go for a Glial Reconstitution and more Roaches. Carapace upgrade as the first thing here. So reading correctly that indeed this is going to be a bio-based play. You already have 64 drones though for Solar, whose queen count is the main lacking thing. Whenever you're playing Roaches, that tends to be something that is bad. There was no cancel on that fort base. That could be considered an issue. Oh, she's gonna kind of run in here. As +1 dies, that's a big deal. That is a very big deal. Oh, there we go. Loses 3-4 Marines for it, at the same time kills 2-3 drones. Doesn't lose any Marines here on the bottom side. We're gonna unload with +1. I think the problem that I have here is that... Well, first of all, Beyond doesn't have his own +1 armor coming in, which would be nice to have, especially against big Ling counts. Yeah, I mean, that would just be real nice. But the problem for Solar area is no fort base, so that means no backup if your third is being attacked. No upgrades, no tech. Like, there's no natural endpoint here for this push. Usually you see these types of pushes, and +2 carapace will be like 15% done when it arrives. And for a Zerg, there's such a clear objective. It's like, okay, once I survive till +2 carapace, all these fights are gonna go so much better. Here, there is really no such moment. Imagine Solar maxes out. It will be Solar who will want to attack. Because his army is not going to get any better. Doesn't have a Baneling Nest, doesn't have tech coming in. Like, he's just going to be maxed on roaches. So the longer Beyond is going to wait, the better his army is actually going to become. He's going to have more tanks, which means the tanks scale better than roaches do. He's going to have good enough upgrades. Like, there's just nothing stopping him from not doing anything. I guess except his, you know, his want, his need. This primitive need to kill stuff as a Terran player. Because this is actually playing into Solar's hand here. Because Solar wants to fight right now. Or well, he needs to. He probably doesn't want to. Solar's a peaceful guy. I mean, he's a crappy army. He needs to come from two sides most likely here. He's gonna want to fight at least a little bit on creep. Every second that goes by, a great second for Beyond. Where they're not trading? Absolutely. These tanks really need to be pre-sieged. It's scary though for Solar to attack into this, but he needs to send it soon. Because he is outmining his opponent, and it means he just needs to trade. I wouldn't even mind like a full-on Roach counterattack here. I think it would be fantastic for him even. I actually really do believe it would be fantastic for him. Like 15 Roaches going across, that forces Beyond's hand to move into you onto creep. Which is maybe where your one advantage is going to be. Probably wants to wait until he gets +1 carapace. But at this point, Beyond's already at 150 supply as well. Ravager count cannot grow anymore. Baneling Nest now on the way, so he's still trying to find ways to increase his army value and his army strength as a result. Tanks, not all of them sieged up, so some of them will just move away. This is a very big stim here, by the way. There's 6 tanks, but only 2 of them are going to be sieged ahead of time. Honestly, given how bad the situation, this was probably... Oh, wow. This is probably the best fight here that Solar could have hoped for. Like, he got a lot of tanks unsieged. I think he ended up killing 3, maybe? Is that correct? Yeah, I think he got 3 tanks total. Majority of the tanks weren't sieged during that battle. Now we're gonna get a full unsiege again, which is just horrible, horrible, horrible stuff. We have more Marines coming in further forward. Tank siege is up onto the high ground, flanked from Marines now. From the high ground as well. So we get some, some weird spins here with these medevacs. Solar still wants to continue fighting as he gets his carapace upgrade right now. So now we're in a more natural position for Solar as well. As these piles are going to hit 2 of the tanks at the same time. Will not take him out. I do believe that Beyond just a little bit too aggressive with all of these unsieges. And ends up fighting the 2 major fights without having majority of his tanks sieged. Which obviously is going to have a huge impact. And in the end here, all of them being clumped on the same spot. No third behind it. I think at this point Beyond is pretty much dead. Like, I don't see how he's going to try to transition out of this. He has 2 Liberators. I guess he can try and send these across the map. I don't even see where they are. Okay. Yeah, they're probably going to go across the map. But he hasn't killed any of these bases. Extra carapace upgrades are coming in. Once, like I said it before, +2 carapace is a huge deal. Oh, it's actually not even the new base. This is the main base flying over. My apologies. I thought it was a queue up of a new base. But it's not. Oh, gonna get a bit of a link flank here as well. As Morbile's gonna rain on top of those tanks. We do have Liberators showing up at both of the bases. Queens were in position for 1. And I think the problem is that Solar's army is just too big right now. +2 carapace is about to finish up as well. There's still a tank in this medevac. Once again, it's not siege though. And what feels for like the 3rd time is in an important fight is that we don't actually have any tank supplement here. Solar's gonna win this game and put himself on match point in this best of 5. Alright, up next, we are gonna be on the White Rabbit. Game 5, the potential final game, as I said. And we'll see what Beyond's plans are going to be here this time around. Well, it starts with him having a good old time with his Reaper. Or at least a good old time. He got one link kill, which honestly is better than the average Reaper output. The average Reaper gets nothing. The average Reaper is a freaking loser. He provides a little bit of information, but that's about it, okay? The average Reaper is significantly less useful than Wikipedia. Because Wikipedia knows way more. Wikipedia also is free. So, you know, it's an added benefit there. The Reaper also doesn't give you as complete a story as Wikipedia often does, so... Really, if you think about it, why are we paying 50-50 for a Reaper? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, double eBay. This is a nasty... These builds have been making a comeback, by the way. I saw... what's he called? Like, Maru was into this stuff. Percival was into this as well. I really feel like Terrans are the most... They don't really have their own brain. Like, the community of Terran players. Like, you can explain something to a Terran, and the Terran will tell you, but Maru or Clem has never done it, so it's probably not good. Like, a Terran cannot imagine a high-level Terran not doing all the good things, you know? Like, someone like Hero Marine has been playing freaking double eBay for such a long time, and then going into 8 racks. Like, he's been doing that since like 2020 or something. And he's been having good success with it at high level. Or he's been playing mech. And he beat like freaking Serral with it. He beat like Rainer with it. Like, he's had good success with that type of strategy. Yet the other Terrans, like, they'll just tell you, it's like, oh, if Clem and Maru aren't playing it, it's like, probably not that good, is it? And then Maru starts playing mech, and all of a sudden, like, every Terran on the entire ladder will start playing mech. It's like, alright, what's going on over here? Like, one of my favorite examples is when Björn came back from the military in, I think it was like 2020 or 2021. And he started playing the gas first into eBay block. And all of a sudden, every single Terran in the world was like, oh my god, gas first into eBay block, this is genius. Like, let's do that. And Protoss has been... we had a Protoss group chat for a very long time. And we'd always ask each other, like, how do we deal with the gas first eBay block? And like, we tell Terrans, like, this build is hard to deal with. There was a Polish Terran player called Ziggy that would play it quite a lot. And we'd all struggled against this particular build. It's like, how, like... We had conversations upon conversation on how to beat Ziggy with this build order. Ziggy was like a 6k Terran player. Like, and every high-level Protoss player in Europe was deadly afraid of him. Just because of the build orders. And then Beyond did it like 4 times, and then all of a sudden all the Terrans woke up at the same. It was like, oh my god. Beyond played it. We're now allowed to do it as well. Like, every Terran player, like, they saw the Emperor's new clothes. Okay, they absolutely have. If Maru saw them, then they saw it too. Boy, are they beautiful. Oh, nice wall. Might want to copy that as well, Terran players. Beyond did it after all. Cheeky little hole on the left. Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, we have a third command center over here. Double, look at it, these upgrades are so freaking fast. And the funny thing with these types of builds, by the way, is that the initial drop doesn't even hit that much later. Like, you just have a lot of Marines with it as well. It's just, you cannot afford, well, you can afford Banshees with it, but it plays out a little bit different. It's just a different type of build. It's not worse in the pressure, because your first pressure is going to hit with a lot of Marines. You can even hit with like a tank as well, and it's going to have freaking 1-1. Combat shield, stay, like, it's freaking sick. And then your 2-2 hits like a truck too. I love this build going into 8 ranks. It is one of my favorite things to see. Because it's just so strong. Instead, we're going to go for a second factory, and indeed, most likely a more standard setup. Solar has droned up very accurately, and I think he knows what's going on. I've probably seen the upgrades here on those Marines. Like, we're 7 minutes in. It's going to be 1-1 versus 0-0. No combat quite yet, but this is a lot of damage, and Zergs often underestimate these upgrades as well, because they're not used to them being done right now. 2-3 Queens going down, 1 or 2 Hydras on top of that. Still, this was a good defense here for our good friend Solar, who, by the way, hasn't constructed an infestation pit yet. And I want you all to be a little bit aware of that, like, mentally. Just like, hey, like, what? Why is there no infestation pit here yet? That is weird, isn't it? And it is. It is just one of the oddest things here, to not have an infestation pit yet, because he is safe, and he's getting ready to get Hydra Link Bane, but you're gonna need Vipers with that at some point. Eventually, you'll need the Vipers, because you know that most of the time, Beyond is pumping double factory tank. That is his favorite thing to do. He's not much of a mine player. Against high tank counts, Vipers are absolutely phenomenal. 2-2 is about to finish up. That's going to be our first look into this upgrade lead. With a more major fight. Of course, upgrade skill better the more units you have. Especially range units, feels fantastic. Snowballs heavily in your favor in that case. His +3 starts immediately here as well. Fort CC is about 75% done. Losing this creep on the low ground is pretty frustrating as well for Solar. He's getting the 5th base hatch. Not a lot of creep outside though. So even something like a tank over here and just a minor... Like imagine like 4 medevacs, like 2-3 tanks, a bunch of marines here on the left side. That could be pretty frustrating already. Which doesn't feel like a whole lot once you're at 163 supply, if I'm being honest. Doesn't feel like a whole lot. Tank count continues to grow. Beyond is playing a passive game. Actually, his tank count is extraordinarily low. I hadn't expected that. He's only at 3 right now. I really thought he was going to be at like 5, 6, maybe even 7 already. Gonna get an attack. No target fire on the Banes. Very poor micro. Lose a couple of marines. Forced to pull back as he starts attacking through the middle rather than the left side. That is surprising to me. He's going to show up here right now. Does he have anything defensively? Tank pops out. Marines coming back home. These tanks do need to siege up. He's completely on creep, not paying attention. This is a terrible start of an engagement. Bailing's rolling in further forward. We'll get some connections at least. At the same time, third base also under heavy fire. 10 SCVs going down. This was terrible for Beyond. Really poorly controlled. Was not paying attention to his main army. Has just wandered onto creep. Yeah, you're going to have to pay a price in that case. Ultra Cavern coming in. Vipers now on the way here too. And +2 carapace finishing up too. So that's going to help matters quite a bit in the upcoming fights. We're going to need to wait until we have +3 before we can make another real attempt at Solar's life. This is also a nasty spot, by the way, with tanks. Like, this map has a lot of nasty spots with tanks. People really underestimate that. And we see Dion just kind of moving forward right now. He's going to clear the creeper in the middle with a big scan. Saying, hey, how you doing, little buddy? Marines here in the mineral line. Tank needs to be somewhat nearby though to really help out. Oh, can we get some target fire? No, we really can't. Tank shooting from a distance. This guy already has 10 kills, which is quite a bit. He's gonna continuously shoot. The Marines are gonna show up, but... Lings are gonna show up to try and kill it, but the tank stays alive. 16 kills total. With the +1 vehicle weapons, as once again Beyond is going to kite back towards those tanks. And there's still a lot in the back there. A couple of Banelings are going to connect with the Marine force. Ling Bane splitting off into the mineral line. Let's see, is Beyond paying attention? He is. Pulls back those SCVs. Looks good to me. 5th CC is not here yet quite. 3-3 does finish up right now. Losing that tank would be a big deal, by the way. Tank count at 7. Marine count only at 17. You really need a 5th CC and a 6th one. Like, we have way too many workers for the situation. Lots of mules in the bank too. I think getting 2-3 command centers at the same time here would not be a luxury necessarily. No sensor tower on the right either. It's gonna make it hard to figure out what's going on. We get a stim in here. Unit's not really in position. We're gonna get one ultra, should do the trick. With chitin, as these ultras are extraordinarily strong against marine counts. As the blinding clouds are rolling in right now. 3-4 tanks being disabled. This CC is actually taking quite a bit of damage. Are we going to get a repair? Yes, we're going to get a repair, but it's too late. Solar. With the fast snipe there. At the same time, is also planning on winning a fight in the middle of the map. These Hydras are doing God's work. Another tank is going to go down. That's the middle. That's now very vulnerable. Solar runs in with the Ling Ultralisk. Does need to be careful, of course. Doesn't want to get caught chasing a Marauder army into a bunch of tanks, but there's really not that many Marauders. Currently the Marauder count is at 3, the tank count is at 7. More and more SCVs are falling as well. Don't forget, we don't have a base yet here on the right side. Hydra's now coming in with a flank. I think overall this was an okay trade in the end for Beyond. The problem is that Solar has a lot of momentum, has these 2 Vipers still out, and I think this 4th base isn't as safe as people would like to believe. 5th base is flying over right now. If we still consider this a 3rd, I mean, it's eventually gonna finish up. Would like to see the armor upgrade as well. I think would be very helpful. Armor, high-sec auto-tracking, making planetaries just a bit stronger. Ghost Academy comes in, so we are planning on transitioning into Ghost at some point. At the same time, we have a big attack towards the middle of the map. This feels very scary for Beyond. He just doesn't have so many bio units. Like, it's mainly... A lot of his assets are tanks. Like, that's actually the only asset that he seems to have. It's just a lot of tanks, but Lings are dealing a lot of damage. Ultra's also running through here right now. The Blinding Clouds were obviously good. So these two Vipers are just going to return back home. We have one more Ultra coming in from the right. I do think that the Liberators are going to be good enough at stopping this, plus the help of the tank. And once more, Beyond is just going to survive. And as long as he survives, he's probably kind of happy. Like, losing this base, or not losing it, but being forced to lift it probably didn't make him as happy. But being alive, that is his happy place, you know? Not dying right now. I'd love to see some more command center still. He's probably going to turn this into an orbital again. Which actually is sensible if you're planning on holding the high ground every time. Like, he's looking at this from a defensive angle. Oh, it's actually going to turn into planetary. I think this is a mistake. Because this gives his opponent a permanent objective that you can't run away with. This is fine if you have 5 orbital commands to replace it, but you don't. And you really need this base. Because you're oversaturating big time. I think this should be an orbital 9 out of 10 times. Like, in this particular situation. As we're going to get an attack over here, this base is cooked as well. There's just too many Banelings, too many Ultras. This thing is going to get taken out here too. As Ling Bane is trying to hit those SCVs, and they're succeeding at it. 14 have died already. Make that 22, make that 27. And at this point, you don't even need a 5th base anymore because you don't have the worker count. I actually think Beyond is just losing this. And Solar's just running through. Like, his Ultra count is still good. His own base count is just continuing to grow, expanding to both of the neutral bases right now. It's going to make it really difficult for Beyond to ever really get anything going in this game. 90 workers too. Like, this is different if he's on 67 workers and has a bank of 200 minerals and -3 gas, while barely capable of reaching max. But that's not the case. Like, he can morph 25 Banelings, accidentally explode them, and then do it again and still be in a great spot. Like, he's not, you know, having to scrape by. Like, he's not selling his body for cash. You know, he's in his happy place. Absolutely. Oh, there we go. I think there was an EMP there hitting those Vipers. We didn't really see any Blinding Clouds, but I mean, this base is freaking toast. This hatch is going to go down, but it doesn't matter. GG gets called. Solar wins this series with a 3-1 score. Dominant performance, honestly. As, yeah, Beyond just gets smacked out of this map. Well done, Solar.